Happy Monday, everyone, or Tuesday if you're listening to me through radio. It is what we call Make It Happen Monday, and if it's Tuesday, it's Takeover Tuesday. Well, tonight or this morning, whenever you're listening to me, we're going to talk about a topic that I find myself talking about often. There are five things: money, attitudes, spoken words, relationships, and there's other ones there, but those are my top. Oh, the words we speak, right? Their life. So today we're going to talk about your attitude. Our attitude determines what our altitude. We're talking about an attitude of gratitude, an attitude that elevates you to yet another realm, another level. I hope you are excited about this because you know what? This is what life is all about. It literally are components and puzzles that we cannot get away from. And it ends up giving us a result, right? So, are we getting the results we want? If the answer is no, well, find a chair, get some notes, because I'm gonna dive in and I'm gonna break it down in a few minutes here. I know there's a lot to be said, but before we begin, just letting you know that Live Full simulcast right here in our TV, a la Mega Mundial, every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can hear us on WSTX 970 AM radio every Tuesday at 10 a.m. in the morning. And you can watch us through Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, Roku, Temple. You can download our apps on our streamingapp.com, and you can watch us through your Apple devices or your Androids. I'm excited because now, all this information is available to all of us, and we can actually start consuming this information and allowing to see significant changes happen for us in our lives with our family every single time. And I say this, even if you heard another episode and you heard it twice, there's always nuggets there that you can implement every single time when you hear like, oh my god, this was a replay. Okay, yes, something there you might need for the next person, or you can point someone is like, hey, listen, you need to listen to this episode. All right, so we're going to talk about this particular topic today because it is such a powerful one, where our attitude determines truly the level of our living, right? We talk about this in expansive and different events where I do one-on-one mentorship or masterminds or even my programs, because I had noticed something. And I don't know if you can ask yourself the question. I love questions are good, self-reflect. When you have a good attitude, good things happen. Mm-mm-mm. So I would ask you a question from the beginning, getting out the gate. Do you have a positive attitude or is it a negative attitude? And you would say, well, I think I have a positive attitude. Great. So that means you have a lot of positive situations and results and fruits happening in your life. There's a lot of good things happening right now. And if you say that's not happening to me, so maybe, just maybe, we might be on the negative spectrum, right? So this is a self assessment moment where you ask yourself the question, what kind of results am I getting, right? And I'll break down in maybe 5 to 7 questions that I want us, all of us, because I'm not immune to this, but we ask ourselves the question every single day to get us back on point, bring us back to the right direction, right? It is said that an airplane, when it leaves the tarmac and it's flying in the air, it's constantly out of target. But there's little checkpoints in between where they're checking every minute to make sure that they're on target, that they're on point, that where they want to go, the destination where they want to go, right? That both of them, especially where they're what they call it, a plan, right? If you're flying an airplane, we know this is the flight plan, that we are on the plan, right? So a question I ask for you right now is, what is the plan you have for your life, right? Because then this auto corrections that we're going to do throughout the course of life, and this is every single day, right? You're going to find yourself a little bit at first like, oh, so troublesome. It's easier to go with the current. But if you want altitude, if you want to reach a specific place in life, we don't have any time to play. We got to do our checkpoints. We got to, sound off. And I would say with good people, am I on track? Am I reaching my goals? Am I on point? Right? Or am I getting back into my negative attitude? Okay. So let's talk about that. So now that I asked you the question, do you have a positive attitude or a negative attitude? A lot of times you can check it out and you say, wow, by what I'm producing, right? There is seed time harvest. We know that some people call it, what is it, karma. right? Seed time harvest says that what I plant, I give it time, and what I'm watering it with, I get results, right? And a lot of times, what allows us to get good results is our attitude. How am I operating right now in terms of my attitude while I'm waiting? Right? That could be waiting for a promotion. That could be waiting for your significant other. That might be waiting for income, money to come in. Maybe a deal that hasn't gone through yet. Right? Right? How are you waiting? How am I waiting? Am I waiting, complaining? Am I waiting, argumenting? Do I have a bad attitude? And that could be in anything. Maybe I'm not having a good a moment here with my relationship with my kids. Something's happening that is not working how I imagined it. While I get my breakthrough, while I get my success moment, am I doing it with a good attitude? Am I being cooperative? Right? And I love to use that word. Sometimes we're so not cooperative. Is that the right word? Right? When we can't get along with anyone because it's my way or the highway. Can somebody say bad attitude? Right? So a good attitude sees opportunity everywhere, right? A good attitude sees opportunity where everywhere. You have a good attitude, you know what? Well, something bad happens, you tend to say, okay, well, this too shall pass. You know what? It's gonna be a season. I know I'm gonna have to hunker down. I'm gonna have to, I can't adjust my attitude because we know that the more we remain in that bad energy. And guys, yes, energy is felt. I check it in my screen, right? When you find someone that is walking in a room, right? They walk in a room, we feel their energy. We are energy create creatures, right? And is that person a happy person? Or, and I'm not saying all smiles, screaming, woohoo, out of their lungs. No, I'm not. I'm speaking the energy. Are they friendly? Are there people that, man, it's nice to be around them? Or the energy is, oh, there she comes, right? We've been there. We've been there. We've seen it. We have some of those people. I have. And I'm like, oh, God, the meeting would have gone much better if she wasn't here. Truth, or if he wasn't there, or if they weren't here. Why? Because there's an energy. There's a negative energy that is it's exuding from people's pores. And that's not where we want to be. So the question is, what is the energy that I am pushing out negative in this case? And I'm telling you, this is something to self-assess because we sometimes think we have a great energy. I mean, or a great attitude. Oh, I have a great attitude. Says who? Only you. And the question is, I'll ask you a couple questions, and this is going to be assessment time because it's like only you see what's wrong with my attitude. There we go, attitude. Somebody can say that question shows what attitude. Let me give you the meaning of what attitude is. A settled way of thinking or feeling about someone or something, typically one that is reflected in a person's behavior. So as a sentence, it says she took a tough attitude towards others people's indulgences, right? So again, a settled way of thinking, huh? That means I'm thinking something, I'm feeling something about someone, something, a place. It doesn't matter. And it is typically reflected on my way of behaving. Wow. I know that we all know what attitude is, but what a perfect meaning because did you see the progression? Right? We could always come back to what am I thinking? What am I thinking? What are my thoughts? Why am I thinking so negative? Why am I thinking that things are not going to work out? Why am I walking into this situation? I don't know anything. I mean, you're looking to go for a job or an opportunity was presented to you. You are always playing the wrong, the bad, that it's not going to work. Can somebody say, oh man, that's a bad attitude? Oh man, I got a bad attitude. Because if you do see and self-reflect and see, oh snap, I do have a bad attitude. That is what we call an aha moment. That is a moment of a conscious, I am awake. I can see me now. And there's actually great change that comes with that. There's incredible change that comes with that. So a good attitude sees opportunity everywhere. A bad attitude now, it's like the heavens are closed. There's no light. There's nothing good. Or it gets really, really jealous of other people's winning because the bad attitude is such a Can somebody say a bad attitude has a spirit to it? Mhm. A bad attitude has a spirit. It is dark. It is bitter. It dampens anything that is like if it's joy, they're joy killers. They are I mean, in every opportunity they have, we know that you're not in agreement. We know that you are argument, you're fighting about everything. Yes, but did you think about that? Oh, yes, but and I'm not speaking a healthy discussion of let's dot our I's and let's cross all our T's. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's an attitude that is coming. What is what? A behavior that is constantly present, dark behavior. Now, I want to pause here for a minute because that type of behavior says more about that person than the receiver. What do you mean, Brenda? There's something deep down hidden on that person's soul, because that's where it is. It's in your soul. What is your soul, guys? If you know, is your soul is your mind, your will, and your emotions. There's something in your will and your emotions in you that you're dealing with, and it's camouflaged with anger, frustration, right? Sometimes over exuberance of confidence, but it's really not confidence. It's kind of like hidden into like loud, demanding things. Like, and I would say like the word is a la brava. Like I demand this attention, I demand this respect because of who I am, and it's a bad. Can somebody say a bad attitude? Have you ever dealt in business with bad attitude people? I have. And mind you, they never see it's them. It's always everyone else, right? Now, the person with a good attitude will extend grace, but it only could extend grace till what? A certain amount. Because then it gets really, really uncomfortable if you have to share space with these people where now it's a true level of what? Intimidation. And can somebody say, no, we're not having that? Come on. Bad attitudes out. Because that bad attitude tends to break down with time. We've seen it. We've seen it very numerous times. People get sick, they get ill, right? Because there's so much bottled up. There's so much demands. It's always an angry approach to everything. How could that be? We can speak, we can dialogue, we can meet everybody in the middle and communicate. People with bad attitude don't often want to leave room for that, right? So there is a transmitting of constant negative energy from one person to the other. And I want you to, if you are that person that always angry, you're always agitated, aggravated, something's on the bottom of your, what we call underneath your skin, then stop for a minute and ask yourself some incredible questions that will help you break through. Because if I'm telling you this and you're hearing this, it's for a reason. It's so that you can break free and you actually start to walk in joy. Do you know there's people that for many, 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 many years don't know what it is to be in joy? And joy is a weapon, by the way. The joy of the Lord will be your strength. No matter what you go through, you're gonna be. People be like happy. No, happy is external. Happy goes, but joy is an internal gift. Joy comes from the inside. It does not matter what you're going through. Joy tends to always stay there. You can be going through hard things in life, but joy is strength. If I want to, if the Bible, I love the Bible. It says it. If the Bible did it, what did I say? It would have been a lie. It is truth. Let me just say that I'm bumbling, right? Because it is a weapon, but not if you're negative, if you're angry, if you're fighting. And I would say some people, not all, have adapted a level of negativity where they see everything that is not going to work out, or because they have traumas, right? And trauma is something that you have to deal with. You cannot keep putting it under the rug and expect for you to be positive, right? It doesn't work like that. It will be like a temporary bandage. You put it there, and all of a sudden you're back again, and you wonder what I thought I was supposed to be happy. I thought I was supposed to be in joy. There it is again. What did I just say? That you haven't dealt with the trauma. And the trauma is something you have to face. What was it? Was it an abusive relationship? Was it a physical thing? What, I don't care. Was it a financial situation where you lost it all and now you're traumatized and that's deep? Oh, I'm not gonna put it anymore. I don't know anymore because I am not right. Negative, negative. What is it? It's deep down in your soul, and we gotta deal with it. And I promise you, if you pray and you give that to God, there's something that's gonna happen. You're going to start feeling free. You're going to start saying, you know what? I was putting this under the rug for so long. I was like, trying to push it to the back and act like it wasn't there, but it was. And it will start to, I love to say the light will start to come to it, right? And you're going to start to face it. And now, once you face it, it's not to stay there. It's not to pitch a tent and stay there. It's to literally, okay, this is what happened. I forgive myself. I forgive others. Guess what? I receive the forgiveness. That's a big one. And move forward. And now I move into my place of positivity, of light, of peace, of joy, of yes, it will work out this time. Of yes, I'm gonna push again. I don't know who I'm speaking to. I know I'm speaking to someone. So what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Absolutely nothing. Right? So I want you to think about that for a minute. If it's stem on something that is deep rooted, that came as a result of a bad situation, whatever that may be, I don't care, big or small, handle that. Pause for a minute. Go find someone that is a professional, not your nephew, not your neighbor, someone that is equipped to walk you through this so that you become more positive. I'm excited about this because when you start to operate in life in your fullness, it's like a beautiful symphony, right? It's not like, things are out of tone, you like tune, their notes were missing. No, it's truly music. And I know we all want to reach in that place where things are working out, where you have a good attitude, where you're expectant for things to work out, that your relationships will work, that your children will work, that your finances will work. Because we want what? A good attitude. So we can have what? A nice altitude. All right. Results of attitudes are real. It is simple. Check the fruit on the tree. What fruits do I have, right? On the tree. Now, do I have more friends or do I have less friends? Mind you, some people like friends, some people don't. I have a few friends. I'm not the friend type. But you know what? Not because I have a bad attitude, but because of choice. And I'm very selective. People love me, and people should love you too, right? They want to be around you. They want to be in your inner circle. But you get to choose. But do you have that opportunity where people are, oh my God, I want to be around Brenda. I don't know. I want to be around you. Say your name. Mark, Mary, Joan, John. Like, say your name. Do people want to be around you, or when they see you, they flee like the plague? Like, oh, I'm gone. Oh no, I can't handle her today. I mean, I've spoken to so many people, and the majority of the people, they have a good attitude, but not a great attitude. And then from that number, there are some people that have really, really, really bad attitudes. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. Some people, until they decide to change that part of them, it's gonna be really, really hard for you and I to make any impact. I would say don't stop loving them, but I would also say be mindful of spending your time with negative people. I'm going to tell you this: negative is contagious. The negative screams while the positive whispers. The negative is very, very dangerous if you are a person trying to get ahead of in life. So I want you to be very careful, because if you're looking for more opportunities, if you're looking for the sky and the heavens to open up for you, being around negative people is a very dangerous approach. And I know I used to have this. I hope you didn't, but I have a savior complex. I want to save people. I want to help people. Why? Because there was something done for me that it worked, and I'm like, oh my goodness, if I could just pass this on, if I can help someone. But that's true, you can help someone, but they have to want to be wanting to want to help. If that makes sense. I'm speaking it a little bent up here, but they gotta want the help. You can spend a whole eternity trying to change people's mind. Tonight, this morning, when you're hearing this episode or this podcast, if you're listening to radio, you're making an assessment. Am I positive? I hope you are. And I hope you, by your will, by the act of your will, choose, you know what? I'm going to change my attitude. I'm going to be more loving. I'm going to use better words. I'm going to expect that good things are going to happen for me. I'm going to reflect on my reactions. How did I respond, not react to? I know there's people that when they come and bring you stuff, they're not smart, right? But and I know if you're a perfectionist, if you're a person that likes your stuff like this, that's good. But check your reactions, check your responses, leave a little room for people, yes, to make mistakes. Don't let it be so perfect, perfect, perfect all the time, because then you're gonna have a problem connecting with people. Okay. So I want you to think about that. More opportunities, more love, more peace, more joy. We're talking about living full. We're talking about living full. So the first one I want you to do as I wrap up this episode today is reflect on your reactions. I said that already. Reflect on your reactions, right? This is so powerful, right? Number two, I want you to examine your self-talk. Oh, this is so big. Why I had a bad attitude at times is because when I started in my mind, first I started to pre-play the bad attitude, right? The bad attitude was already, if they tell me anything, or who they think they are, they think I'm stupid. Oh, well, I'm gonna tell them off today. Are you guilty like me? I hope you aren't, because I'm gonna tell you, it wasn't pretty. What is my internal self-talk? Oh, I'm always in my head. Oh, like just I'm just a procrastinator. That's me. And then we tend to start that snowball negative effect, which helps no one. And we know already, if you have kids, be careful, because our kids are sponges. They're absorbing like a sponge, like I said, right? Every attitude you have is transferred to them. If it's a hopeful attitude, and mind you, each child has its own makeup, but we're not going to help them be negative. If we have kids, and if you look at Eeyore, Tigger, all of those are different kind of attitudes, right? Some kids are more, they would be like, oh, well, I don't know if that's going to work. You got to say, don't worry, try again. Let's try and let's keep going. And then let's change your words. Train them to change the way they see life. Because if they change the way they see life, their life is going to change. It's incredible. It never fails. Which one comes first? The result or the action, right? The action first, and then the results, right? So we're gonna examine number two, our internal conversation. That conversation that feeds our negative or positive. If it's good, good. Keep it going. I believe in myself. I can do this. You know what? If somebody did it, I can do it too. Okay? So check that. Number three, I want you to seek feedback from others. This was so awesome. Oh my God. Can somebody say, humble thyself? Can somebody say, humble thyself? If you humble yourself generally and you ask your loved ones and you say, positive or negative, just those two questions. How am I on a scale of 1 to 10? Positive. Mom, 1. The kids are awesome, by the way. They're not going to judge you. They're going to tell you the truth. They live with us, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, negative 10, right? What? Listen, I've had some amazing conversations with my daughters. And, sometimes in life, when you're in the heat of it, especially when you're cleaning, if you know, you know. If you know, you know, right? It's like, you have this internal conversation going, I cannot believe the socks are here. I cannot believe the clothes. I have to be folding this. So that internal conversation is negative, negative. So what's coming out? The energy is it's awful. Not only with the kids, then you have to go. You gotta go to your job. So now now those employees. And guess what? When the kids or anyone that is in your inner circle You ask them a beautiful question, and you ask them, um, I'm really making some changes in my life this year. This 2025 that's coming, 2024, whenever you're watching this, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Question for you. I'm genuinely, and I promise you, I'm not gonna hold you to it. That's another thing because people are not gonna want to tell you the truth if you're gonna now like, look, I cannot believe I asked her and she told me I'm negative, right? Die to self. Because somebody said die to self. I'm honest, I want to know. Ask the question. How positive I am. And if I'm not positive, I promise I'm not gonna hold it on against you, but I need to know. I want to know how positive I am. Okay. Then number four, this is so powerful. I want you to assess, and you know, your energy level. How's your energy? Every single morning when you wake up, are you already level 10 upset? What's happening? Ask yourself the question, what was my conversation? What did I another thing? What is in my ear gate? What am I listening to? Am I listening to the news? Am I listening to fights? Am I on social media fighting, arguing? Oh, with WAPA, with this, with that. Why am I so triggered? Why am I so triggered? Assess your energy and dial it in. No one is going to do this for you. You have to watch it. Let me tell you this. I'm running out of time here. But the more energy negative you put out, the more energy negative you're going to get. If you're trying to manipulate and push people and push and push, and you're arguing and you're argumentative, you cannot help. They might help you once, they might help you twice. But love, understanding how to your tone communicate with people goes further than a and I word and the word I say is I'm safi. Like you always like fighting with them or like the word I'm gonna just use is punking people. Do not punk people. Like you do it or else it's never gonna be good. It's never going to end good. All right, so that is one that is a big one, assessing your personal energy. And then evaluate your relationships. Ask your relationships, the people around you, how am I doing, right? And then when you have them, treat them good. And if you're constantly, I want to say this, around negative people, and you start to make this transition into becoming more positive, make sure that when you go to the positive group, that you contribute positive to them. Because I promise you, if you're negative and you refuse to adapt that positive way of living, of seeing, of hopefulness, of it's gonna work out. You know what? I'm in the moment. Yes, it's gonna work. Yes, I'm gonna be healed. Yes, money's gonna come to me. Yes, the business is gonna work. And if it doesn't work, don't worry, we're gonna go again. If you are not a part of that language, when you come to the next level of positive people, you're gonna find yourself again alone. Food for thought, a forewarning. Be careful because positive people do not spend time with negative people because we understand that negative is a virus. Woo. Somebody say, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Yes, it's a virus and it's very contagious. All of a sudden, you're speaking negative, you're not expecting like you used to, and don't know why. Check your association and evaluate your relationships. See if that's what's happening. You're around negative people. Number 6, analyze how you handle criticism. When people actually bring you some kind of feedback, don't get on the defensive. Don't get what bad attitude. Say, you know what? I'll take that and I'll work on that. Thank you so much. Because they don't have to tell us. I mean, when I've had bad attitudes, and we have all had our moments, and my husband or my kids or someone, a business partner, like, are you okay? You seem a little triggered today. You feel like you seem a little bit like on the edge. I feel like, you know what? Thank you. Yes, no, I'm not. I wasn't fine, but thank you for bringing it. I didn't even notice. Humility goes so further that you will never. You're not gonna see. Well, you will see how much you're gonna achieve by just making the switch. All right. Number 7, and I leave you with this: is review your goals and your actions. When you have goals, you tend to become more positive. When you have delineated actions of what you want to achieve, what you're working towards. And guess what? With a good attitude, you get really excited. You get on fire. You're like, wow, check, check, check. This year, I'll leave you with the question: how good have you done so far? Right? It could be the beginning of the year, it could be the middle of the year when you're watching this, or it could be at the end of the year. If you are in the middle, at the end, assess yourself. Did I have goals? Did I focus my attention positively on my things, or was I turning off other people's fires? Was my attitude on point, or was my attitude on trying to fix everybody's stuff but never got my stuff done? Right? That's an attitude, right? So kill the savior complex, hone down in your goals, watch your words, and change the attitude, if it's negative, into a positive one. Because I promise you something, you will start to elevate your life from one level to the other, and you'll find yourself in places you've never saw yourself and you dreamt of, actually. Right? So with that, I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Have a great evening or morning. Bye for now.